I want to welcome you to another installment, 2023 installment into the Invest Podcast. I'm your boy, your host of the Invest Podcast, also CEO of the Invest Apparel Company, Johnny Invest. Make sure you smack that subscribe button so you and others get notified every time we drop that banging content. Definitely smack the subscribe button and definitely share that with a friend. We're all new, 2023. My first podcast of the year. I had to take a little break off it. Had a lot of stuff going on with brand, things of that nature. I switched jobs, things like that. So I had a lot going on, but definitely want to get back to the Invest Podcast. And I wanted to do at least the first Invest Podcast of 2023, just for me. Got some things I want to talk about, some topics and things like that I want to touch on. I've had some dope guests the whole time I've been doing the podcast. When you always have guests, it's more about them and their story and them telling their story, which is dope, which is awesome. We've heard some great stories, had some great motivation, but every now and then there's certain topics that I want to be able to touch on that are relevant, that are important, that have a lot to do with why I started the brand in the first place and, why I started the podcast. So I called this episode, Do You? I feel like in 2023, I had some lights flickering over there. I don't know what's going on, like a short out or something over there. Anyway, in 2023, I feel like it's really important for people to just really do them. Like, for me, I had recently switched up my jobs after being somewhere for a long time, being comfortable there. I really decided for me, it was time for me to leave, and it was time for me to move on and go on and do something else. And that move might not be for everybody. It might not be what everybody needs to do, but it was something that was for me because I'm a person that promotes people to go out there and just do you. And I've been looking at a lot of things. I sit back, I look, I think, and I read. And I see some people in life that end up just like, how'd I get here? I'm not happy. I'm just unfulfilled, Because part of that is that some of us, not all of us, but some of us, we live life through another person's lens. Meaning like we go out and we do things that we see others do. We do things that the average person does. And the issue with that is we're following people versus, being in charge of our own life, our own ship. Like, for instance, I hear this, well, my friend just got married. Oh my God, I'm the last one. I need to go out there and get married. So you go out and maybe you find a guy and you get married. You have this big, great funeral, this great wedding. And then 2 years, a year, it ends up in maybe a divorce, possibly because you went out there and you didn't do you. You did what your friends did. You let the peer pressure kind of get the best of you, and that can lead to like really poor decision making in our life. Like, for instance, hey, my parents followed this career path. My parents, they went out there and they did that. Well, that might work for you if you have some type of love, some type of joy for it, and you kind of want to do it. It might work for you. But if you're doing it, solely to please your parents, your friends, things of that nature, you definitely might, run into issues. Like, for me personally, when I started the Invest Apparel Company, it wasn't because my friends started a brand. They didn't. It wasn't because I seen somebody else start brands. I seen a lot of brands out there. I really started because I really wanted to do it. I really started because I really had faith and I believed in it. And I feel like there's so many things out there I promote investing in other things, but not a lot of things that promote you invested in you. So I felt like it was really kind of my life's purpose. One of the things I was meant to do in my life. So I went out there and I did it. But a brand might not be for you. It might be, but don't go out there and do it just because your friend's doing it. Don't do it just because Johnny Invest is doing it. Make sure it's something that you really want to do. Make sure you think it out. Make sure you kind of get your ducks in a row, get a good name, get a good brand concept, get a good brand story, figure out like, what is your brand about? Who is your target audience? Who do you align with? Like, focus on those things. And another thing, just a little insight on me from a brand owner. If you're starting a brand just to make money, that's the only reason that you're starting a brand is it's like, I want to earn extra money. I want to be profitable. I want to blow this thing up fast. Do something else. There's so many other businesses out there that you can start, and within a couple of months, you can start making money. There's some businesses out there you can start immediately. You can start going out there and you can start, making money. Just throw something out there for you guys. The rolled ice cream business is getting really, really popular. That rolled ice cream, the dry ice, you guys have probably had it. They have the machines, over there on Amazon. They're a couple $100. You got some friends and families and things like that. You can start off with that on the weekends, going and catering these birthday parties. You can make money. I mean, that's something that you can make your money back probably with your first or second party. Give me a second, turn this light off, keep flickering. That's probably something you can make with your first or second birthday party. Again, that is just like if you want to make immediate money. But again, with me, my brand, I wasn't out to make immediate money. Now it's great. Now we are making profits. We are making money. But in the beginning, that wasn't what we're out for. We're really out to get our brand out there. Get it, in front of people. Get people really wearing it to spread our message. And as a brand owner, I never put money first, especially like in the beginning. I understood, what it took to really go out there and grow a brand. You want to grow a brand, just a little inside knowledge. If you're not like this big time celebrity, you're not, like Beyonce or, somebody like super famous, then you got to give yourself 3 to 5 years. It could happen sooner, it could happen longer, but give yourself a little bit of time to really grow. Like you're trying to build something that wasn't here before. Now, if you're just like piggybacking off something, you're joining a franchise, you're buying in on something that's already here, that's easier. But if it's something just from the bottom up, like I built Invest Apparel Company from the bottom up, my grit, my bare hands, we're still not where we want to be, but we are where we want to be for the amount of time that we've been in business. We have been. So for me, being a guy that's involved with fitness and bodybuilding and things like that, I understand the value and the importance of putting in and investing in yourself. And the people that we really align with are people that kind of live that same lifestyle, are people that are trying to, and they understand the value of investing in yourself. And for me, it feels great to have a brand, have people repping it, have people saying they love it, things of that nature. But again, when it comes to life, you just got to find out what really works for you. Like, for instance, like I said, I'll touch on it. Hey, my friend did this about a house. It's about a house. I want to go to a house. Okay, that's cool. Make sure that really is going to work for you. Like, sit back and really make that decision and figure out, do you have all the things you need to really go out there and buy a house? Like True Grant, there's a lot of programs out there that will like give you money for your down payment and your closing costs. Like, they will give you the money to get in the house. And maybe you have to cover maybe $2-3 of closing costs, maybe. But just understand that with that, you want to make sure you have a cushion, in your savings account, because now you're buying a house. Now you're a landlord. Now when things go wrong, you're the one responsible for repairs, things of that nature. So make sure on top of that, getting a house, you got a couple of grand tucked away, just in case something goes wrong. You might have that, you might not. Things to think about. When you're making decisions and when you're trying to like keep up with others. My grandma called it keeping up with the Joneses. And sometimes with making those decisions in your life just based on peer pressure and things like that, end up in disaster. Straight up fucking disastrous. Podcast is called You, and it's so important in 2023 that you go out there and you do you. Like, me and my buddy or my good friends talked about it the other day. He said, everybody's happiness is different. I said, man, you couldn't be any more spot on. Me and him, we don't always agree on everything, but he's a good dude. And, I understand what he's saying. And he's right. Like, some people, their success is different than what your thought of success is. Some people's success is like, man, having like 3 degrees, making $180,000 a year, 200 grand. That's success. Some people was like just, having a decent life, making okay money, being able to pay the bills, just having a great family life, raising kids, having a loving wife, having a, a great husband that, doesn't go out there and play on them and is faithful and things like that. To some people, that is more valuable than money, because you have some people that have money, but they don't have those things. They might not have the faithful husband. The husband's making money, but maybe he's, doing some other stuff on the side, not so good. The wife, vice versa, or they travel, they don't see each other. So it's like, and then you have the people that might not make great money, but they have a happy life. They're happy to have dinner every night together. And to them, that's success. And to them, they value that over money. And some people, they value money over everything. Like I said, it's your life, so it's really your right to really go out there and decide what you want. But for me, I know what my happiness is. I know what, I don't really sit back and share it with a lot of people because it's my personal thing. It's my thing. People tell me, Johnny, you should do this, you should do that. But hey, man, I'm happy. Yeah, I'm always look to get better, always look to improve, but I'm happy. I'm doing me. For instance, like for me, being a workout guy and things like that. So us that are into fitness, a lot of us, guys and girls, a lot of us, we dress for the way our bodies look. We dress for our physique, right? And then people that aren't into fitness, not knocking them, we all have choice of what we do. They dress for their physique, right? So a person that works out in pretty good shape, the way they dress, it might be a little bit different than a person who doesn't work out. The clothing, the wardrobe may look a little bit different. A person that works out is fit, their apparel, especially their gym stuff, it might be a little tighter. Like me, oh, you wear skinny jeans. Hey, I feel like for me and the physique I have, it looks pretty good on me. Oh, you wear, a small shirt. Hey, I feel like for the physique I have, it works for me. I work out, I'm in the gym, I put my time in, I feel that I've earned that. I've earned, I've earned the right to wear what, I can just wear what I feel comfortable. Everybody has that right, And then some of the other people, they might dress different. I feel like dress for how you feel. I feel the way we dress, it really has to do with how we feel on the inside. If you're super confident, you might dress a certain way to show that. Vice versa. And don't judge anybody. Like, I don't judge anybody that might dress the other way. Like, I'm not a judgmental person. Like, you do you. You do what works for you, and let others do the same. Let people just go out there and just let them live their life, and just learn to be a lot less judgmental of people. Just you see someone looks different, you see someone that dresses different, let them do them. You know what I'm saying? Like, let them do what they want to do. If they want to wear baggy clothing, hey, that's their thing. If that individual wants to wear tight pants, a tight shirt, that's what they choose to do. They're buying their clothing. You're not paying for it. Allow them to be able to do that. Again, it's all about just letting people be them and just not to be super judgmental of people. My grandmother really taught me that. So it's really fitting that I did this first podcast of 2023 entitled Do You? Entitled to go out there and just find your happiness, because at the end of the day, you got one life. Everybody's is leaving this place in a box or, an urn or, something like that. So just, again, like, do what makes you happy. If you're in a position in your life to where you feel that you're good, that's priceless. Like, being able to say, man, I'm good where I'm at, happy where I'm at. Like, that's a priceless thing. So for me, I got that growth mindset. So I'm always pushing, always trying to learn, always reading, always trying to get better. And then, I help others. I had someone that the other day I would work at. I finished a book, and I seen that, hey, there's someone that told me to let the read. Says, hey, I got a good read for you. Gave a book. Hope they can get some value out of that, like I can get out of that. Maybe they can use that, in their life or, in professional life or personal. That'd be great. I'm using it, things I learned. And I in a person, for me, I try to share with others. I don't try to put on my beliefs on anybody, but I just try to go out there and I share with others, my knowledge, the ones that want that, So again, y'all, I'm not going to stay too long on this episode, but again, do you, as I leave you today on this podcast, I want to stress to you guys the importance of quality. You can have 10 friends, but if 6 of them is kind of funny style, 6 of them you kind of got questions about, there's been some issues here and there. But this beginning of 2023, you definitely want to consider maybe cutting some of those individuals out of your life. I'm going to tell you something. If you feel something in your heart, in your soul, chances are the way you feel is what it is. And individuals can say, no, 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 it's not like that. That's how the words people lie. They all the time. It's like that. So, ladies, if you got that homegirl, you feel like always kind of, shooting some shade on the under, but then saying it's cool, but y'all still hanging out and you're going out together. I tell you, she's at one point in time, she's probably gonna stab you in the back. So definitely watch that. If you feel envy, if you feel it, it's there. You're not crazy. I'll convince you that you're crazy, but it's there. Fellas, same way. I had to deal with that. Little envy. Started my business, started my brand. Had a couple people that I, was cool with, and then as I was starting it and I was growing, they started to kind of pull away. And this the only difference was I started a brand. I started a podcast. That was the only thing. So I felt it a little bit before, but that as I started my brand and I'm having some success now, I'm starting to. That's what it is. Just go with your gut feeling. Again, it's better to have a couple of good, solid people in your corner than a bunch of people that's kind of shady, backstabbing you. And the more successful you become, the more they're going to try to hurt you. The more they're going to hate on you. The more it's going to be animosity. So, be careful with that. Practice quality around you over quantity. Do the things that make you happy. Do you. Do how you feel. It's your boy Johnny Invest, CEO of Invest Apparel Company. Check out invesapparel.com to get gear. You can DM me at Instagram, all things invest, guaranteed interest. We'll be back with another banging episode. I hope you enjoyed this one. This episode entitled, Do You? And again, it's very important that you get out there and you guys always do you. Have a good one.